boys and girls, and welcome back. It's so nice to see you again. Today, I'm going to be telling you the story of the 4 river dragons. But before I begin the story, it's time for us to sing the Storytime song. So don't worry if you don't know how to do it, you just have to listen and do as I do. So can we all get our hands up like this? And let's all shake our hands up. Let's shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Let's now shake our right hand. Let's shake and shake and shake and shake and shake. And can we shake it very slowly and even more slowly? And now can we shake our left hand? Let's shake our left hand very, very, very fast. Let's shake and shake and shake and shake and shake. And now can we shake our left hand even more slowly? And now can we shake both of our hands together? Let's shake and shake and shake and shake and shake. And now can we get both of our hands up? And let's snap our fingers like this. Can we all snap up? And now let's snap in between. And now let's snap down below. And let's snap very fast. And now very slowly. Very good. And this is the Storytime song. It's story time today. It's story time today. Hey ho, it's story time and let's be on our way. Are you listening? Are you listening? Hey ho, it's story time and let's be on our way. Are you sitting down? Are you sitting down? Hey ho, it's story time and let's be on our way. Very good, boys and girls. Are we all ready to sing the Storytime song one more time? Let's all get our hands up again. And it's story time today. It's story time today. Hey ho, it's story time and let's be on our way. Are you listening? Are you listening? Hey ho, it's story time and let's be on our way. Are you sitting down? Are you sitting down? Hey ho, it's story time and let's be on our way. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago in China, there were no lakes or rivers and only the Eastern Sea where 4 dragons lived. There was the black dragon, there was the yellow dragon, there was the long dragon, and there was the pearl dragon. And these dragons, they love to fly out from the sea and into the sky. Into the sea and up into the sky. Dragons flying, flying, fly. Into the sea and up into the sky. Dragons flying, flying, fly. Boys and girls, it's time for us to sing the dragon song together. Are you all ready? And 1, 2, 3. Into the sea and up into the sky. Dragons flying, flying, fly. Into the sea and up into the sky. Dragons flying, flying, fly. And these dragons, they love to dive and play hide and seek among the clouds. And they would play and play and play. And one day, while the dragons were playing and having fun, the pearl dragon went, "Dragons, dragons, quick, come and look over here." And the other 3 dragons were so curious what was going on. And so they all flew to the pearl dragon and they looked down at where the pearl dragon was pointing to. And down on earth, many, many people were putting out sweet, delicious fruits and vegetables, and they were burning incense sticks. Boys and girls, do you all know what they were doing? Yes, they were praying. There was a lady with gray hair on her head and a thin little boy on her back, and she was praying, God of heaven, please bring rain down to earth. It has not rained for so long. Our crops have withered and our children are so, so hungry. Please bring rain down soon, God of heaven. And as the people were praying, the 4 dragons were looking down at them, feeling so sorry for them. They knew that they had to do something to help these hungry people. And so they all had to think of a clever idea to help these people. These 4 dragons, they thought, and they thought, and they thought. What could we possibly do to help these hungry people? So boys and girls, I need all of your help right now to think of a plan to help the people on Earth. So are you ready? Let's all get our thinking fingers up like this, and let's all think, and think, and think. And finally, the yellow dragon thought of a clever idea. Dragons, why don't we fly up to the heavenly palace and beg the Jade Emperor to send rain down to the earth? And all of the other 3 dragons loved the yellow dragon's idea. And so saying, the 4 dragons flew out from the sea and into the sky. Into the sea and out into the sky. Dragons fly and fly and fly. Into the sea and up into the sky. Dragons fly and fly and fly. Boys and girls, let's all sing the dragon song one more time together. Are you ready? And into the sea and up into the sky. Dragons fly and fly and fly. Into the sea and up into the sky. Dragons fly and fly and fly. And these 4 dragons, they arrived at the heavenly palace one by one. First, the black dragon arrived. And then the yellow dragon arrived. And then the long dragon arrived. And finally, the pearl dragon arrived at the heavenly palace. And up there in the heavenly palace sat the Jade Emperor with his gray long beard hanging from his chin and his gray, dull, cloudy eyes as he sat upon his golden throne. The Jade Emperor was so very powerful. He was in charge of all of the affairs in heaven, on earth, and in the seas. And the Jade Emperor was not happy at all to see that the dragons had flown up to the heavenly palace without his permission. Dragons, why did you rush into the heavenly palace instead of behaving yourselves in the sea? The long dragon immediately stepped forward. Jade Emperor, the people on earth are suffering. There has not been rain for many, many months. The crops had all withered, and the children are so hungry. Oh, Jade Emperor, please send rain down to earth as soon as possible. And so, the Jade Emperor sighed. All right. I'll send rain down tomorrow. Just go back to the sea first. The dragons were satisfied, and they happily flew back down into the sea. Into the sea and up into the sky. Dragons fly and fly and fly. Into the sea and up into the sky. Dragons fly and fly and fly. And in the sea, the 4 dragons, they waited and they waited and they waited until one whole day passed. And there was still no rain down on earth. And so the dragons thought, maybe we just have to wait a little bit longer. And so they waited and they waited and they waited until 2 whole days passed. Then there was still no rain down on earth. And so they thought, maybe we just have to wait a little bit longer. And so again, they patiently waited and they waited and they waited and they waited and they waited until 10 whole days passed. And boys and girls, do you think there was any rain down on earth? No, not a single drop of rain fell. And the people were so very hungry. They were all suffering. Some people had to eat white clay. Some people had to eat tree bark. And some people had to eat grass roots in order to survive the hunger. And before long, all of these things had run out as well, and the people had nothing left to eat at all. And the 4 dragons, they felt so sorry for the hungry people, for they knew the Jade Emperor was a selfish emperor, and he only cared about his own happiness and his own pleasure. The dragons, they knew they could only rely on themselves to help the hungry people on Earth. And so, together, they had to quickly think of a plan once again. And so the dragons, they put all of their heads together, and they thought, and they thought, and they thought very, very hard. Boys and girls, I need all of your help together one more time. We need to think of a very clever plan as fast as we can. The people are very hungry, so let's all think and think and think. How can we help these hungry people? And finally, the Pearl Dragon thought of a very clever idea. Dragons, dragons, isn't there so much water where we live right here in the sea? Why don't we scoop the water up into our mouths and we can spray the water down on Earth and it will be just like rain. And the crops will grow again and the people will no longer be hungry anymore. And all of the 4 dragons loved the Pearl Dragon's idea. And they all cheered for the Pearl Dragon and his idea. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Boys and girls, let's all cheer together for the Pearl Dragon. When I say hip hip, you say hooray. Hip hip, hip hip, hip hip hooray! But then after a while, the Long Dragon went, dragons, dragons, but wouldn't we be in so much trouble if the Jade Emperor learns of what we're doing? But even then, all of the 4 dragons were determined to help the hungry people on Earth, even though they might get into trouble. And so first, the Black Dragon flew down into the sea and he scooped the water up into his mouth. And then the Yellow Dragon flew into the sea and he scooped the water into his mouth as well. And then the Long Dragon flew into the sea, scooped the water up as well. And finally, the Pearl Dragon flew into the sea, scooped the water up into his mouth. And so the 4 dragons flew high up into the sky again, and they began to spray the water down on Earth like this. Boys and girls, the dragons need all of your help to spray the water down on Earth. So let's all get our hands up like this, and let's spray the water together. Are you ready? And and the water fell down on Earth just like rain. And the wheat stalks stood up, and the sorghum stalks straightened up as the rain watered all of the withered crops. And finally, it had begun to rain after such a long time. The people were so happy and excited. They all went, "It's begun to rain! Oh, we are saved! Our children will no longer be hungry anymore. The crops will grow again. We have been saved!" And they all began to clap and cheer for the rain. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Boys and girls, let's all cheer for the rain all together. When I say hip hip, you say hooray! And hip hip, hip hip, hip hip hooray! And the dragons were all so happy with themselves. But while all this was happening, the god of the sea realized what the dragons had done and immediately reported it to the Jade Emperor. Oh, he was enraged. He was furious. How dare these dragons bring rain down without my permission? Oh, they will pay for disrespecting me. Heavenly generals and troops, go and bring these 4 dragons up to the heavenly palace right now. The heavenly generals and troops obeyed the Jade Emperor, and they all flew down to the sea to look for the dragons. And the dragons were outnumbered and could not defend themselves, and were soon captured and brought back up to the heavenly palace. Four dragons, why did you bring rain to the people without my permission? Oh, you will pay for disrespecting me. God of heaven, go and fly 4 mountains down and lay them upon these 4 dragons so that they can never move or escape ever again. The God of heaven obeyed, and he used his magical powers to fly 4 mountains down to the heavenly palace. Whistling in the wind from afar, he laid them down on the 4 dragons. And the dragons could no longer move. They could not do anything. But even then, the 4 dragons did not regret their actions. And the dragons were determined to help the people in China forever and turn themselves into 4 great rivers that flowed past high mountains, deep valleys, flowed from the west to the east, and finally emptying out into the sea. The black dragon became 𝗏龙江, far south. The yellow dragon became 黄河 in central China. The long dragon became 长江, further south. And the pearl dragon became 珠江, further north. China's 4 great rivers were formed by 4 courageous dragons. Into the sea and up into the sky, dragons fly and fly and fly. Into the sea and up into the sky, dragons fly and fly and fly. Thank you, boys and girls, for listening to the story of the 4 river dragons. But before we go, let's all sing the Storytime goodbye song together. I'm sure we all know how it goes, but don't worry if you don't. You just have to listen and do as I do. So let's all get our hands up like this one more time. And this is the Storytime goodbye song. Story time is over now. Story time is over now. Story time is over now. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, friends, it's time to go. Goodbye, friends, it's time to go. Goodbye, friends, it's time to go. It's time to say goodbye. And boys and girls, don't forget to watch all of our other storytelling videos down over here in our YouTube channel. And also do subscribe to our YouTube channel and like all of our social medias on Instagram and Facebook. Goodbye!